not come here tonight to make you laugh. I came here to sell you something. I want you to pay particular attention. Because the amazing Master Tool Corporation, a subsidiary of Fly By Night Industries, has entrusted me, to show you the handiest and the dandiest kitchen tool you've ever seen. And don't you want to know how it works?
So, how do I know, first of all, that you're the real Gallagher? Because I know you had some discrepancy with your brother, and that must have been fucking weird. Like, are you the real Gallagher? Because Gallagher, to me, is like you're kind of like Bigfoot. Like, you're just... you know what I mean? You're just like... No, seriously, you're so famous, but no one has seen you. It's like, how do I know, like, you know, you could be an impersonator. You're the real Gallagher, right? That's fucking awesome, dude. You're the fucking real Gallagher. That's amazing.
It is.
It is, you know what I mean? Because... I mean,
if you don't believe it, nobody in the world's going to believe it. And I said to myself, I have a feeling about this fun guy. He's going to be a party. He's going to be explosive. He's going to be more than a guy in a suit. Right. The last thing I want to do is go on TV wearing a coat.
Right.
I want to have on a T-shirt, and I'm going to be fun. I want to have toys. I want the whole family to sit down and enjoy me together. And I loved the word Gallagher sounded like fun. If I'd had a name like Schwartz, I probably wouldn't have wanted to be called Schwartz.
But you are the real Gallagher. You are the real, because we had dinner. How many years ago did we have dinner? It was at Dantana's. Right? Remember when I took you to dinner there?
Yeah.
We were hanging out in front of the store, and I said, let's go get some food.
Yeah.
And we sat down for a little. So I just
Because I've been there from the beginning.
I know.
I saw your mom with a cigar box taking the money from the door, and she didn't own anything, and Sammy was in there, and he needed more help with the time, so he got Archie Hahn with the Groundlings to come down. That was when the Groundlings were first starting, but they were an improv group. I just stumbled into that situation because I was staying next door with Jim Stafford in the Continental Hyatt House.
Wow.
I was his road manager.
Wow.
And I actually got kicked out of the comedy club.
At the Comedy Store?
Yeah, by the doorman.
Not Harris Pete.
No, the one.
Whatever.
Yeah, he kicked me out. I don't know why either. I can't remember, but I'm always expressing my opinion.
So you came out to So you were a road manager for someone?
For Jim Stafford. He had
Which
comedy
ones?
songs. I don't like spiders and snakes, and that ain't what it takes to love me.
Right.
Well, he needed help, I'm telling you.
Right.
And I wanted to see what show business was like before I got into it. I don't want to stick my head up and be a silly guy that smashed food if later on I was going to be a cancer researcher or a noted physicist.
Because you're a scientist, right?
I am. I'm
You're
a very
real
smart
scientist.
brain. Why would I waste it on double entendres?
Right.
You know? So I thought, well, I was just 25, 26. I'll just, go on the road with a singer for a few years and see what show business is like. And so that's what I was doing when I came next door.
So you were born in Florida.
When my dad got back from World War II, he was 20 years old, 1946. And so I was born in the Army Hospital in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Right. So, but where were you born? In Florida? And
I was born at that Army hospital, and they had to pack my mother in ice. She always told me this story. Because the delivery room was being used. So they packed her in ice to delay my arrival. And so my dad would always tell me my head was elongated when I was born and he was going to throw up. He loved telling me the first time he saw me he was going to throw up. But they massaged my head. Now, I believe...
Because you couldn't come out of your mom properly.
I believe that this could be the reason I have such a superior intelligence that at this early stage... My brain was massaged.
Yeah.
And the more that my dad says that he wanted to throw up, the more out of shape I might have looked like a cone head.
Wow.
And so I've always been smarter than everybody. In every class, they would put me ahead. I would talk to the teachers as equals. I always was different.
You're like a prodigy.
I am.
Yeah, prodigy.
And I felt the responsibility to do the right thing for America as an asset of this country. And everybody loves to laugh, so I thought that I would go forward with that.
Right. So So your mom and dad, what are their names? Or what were they? They're not around anymore.
Garnet and Leo.
Garnet and Leo.
Yeah.
And you had a brother. Is it the same brother from the same mom and dad?
Yeah.
Same brother. And
I have two brothers.
Oh, okay.
My oldest brother, the brother.
So you're
next to me,
65.
I'm 67.
Oh, 67.
My brother's 66.
But you just said there's an older brother.
No, I meant the oldest of the two brothers that I have, but I'm the oldest.
Okay, cool. So you got 66.
And then my other
What's
brother,
his name? 66?
Jerry.
Jerry, okay.
Jerry Gallagher. He has been teaching our test pilots at the Patuxent Naval Air Station in Maryland his whole career. Hundreds of Navy jet fighters, flyers, have been taught by my brother. I actually spoke at the graduation of the test pilot
So he's
school.
intelligent too. Jerry is intelligent.
He has a master's degree in mathematics.
Did they massage his head?
No.
So they didn't get to massage?
He has a big head, though.
Big head. Is he bald as well?
We actually called him Head.
Is he bald as well? Does he look like you?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he has a small body.
Wow.
When we used to roller skate, my dad owned a roller skating rink, and we would speed skate, and he would race around. His head would do like a bobblehead.
Oh, wow. So he had a really big head.
We called him Head.
Wow.
Now, the reason that he's a good pilot is that he's short, and when he spins his jet, his head isn't really far from the center of spin, and so he doesn't black out.
Right.
And that's why he's a jet pilot, too. My dad also owned a trampoline center.
Wow.
And so my brother's really just doing trampoline tricks in a jet.
Wow. And then the other brother, what was his name? Or what's his name?
Ronnie. I had to babysit him my whole life. See, that's the attitude. When I was 9 years old, we moved to Tampa, Florida, and my mother went to work. So I had to watch 3 kids in the summertime, or until she got home from work at 5. But I was the older brother, and they expected me to watch everybody. Well, my next brother, Jerry, he didn't need watching. My sister and my littlest brother were the two I had to watch. And,
so you have a sister as well.
Right.
So there's 4 kids.
Yeah. So I was 9, and so my brother's 5 years younger, so he was 4, and my sister was 5. So I'm watching a 4 and a 5, and I'm only 9. And so
I mean, I think
life,
I think people that are listening to this, I mean, the oldest brother or oldest sister usually watched the kids. I mean, the parents were off fucking around.
Yeah, you're in the position in your family of my brother Ronnie.
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Yeah.
Because
Scott used to watch me and used to watch, Peter and Sandy and all that stuff.
So at one point in 1990, when I was very hot. And just work. I knew what my schedule was a year in advance, and I could see that I was never going to a lot of really small towns. And I said to my brother, "Why don't you go there and work in a bar and give people the fun of a Gallagher show and just do the jokes from my first 4 one-hour specials?" Because I was always.
And what did he say when you said that?
He said, "I can't do it."
Why?
He said he was afraid, and he didn't think he had the talent.
But he eventually did it, though.
Well, I told him it doesn't matter about talent. Just tell the jokes. They're really good jokes.
Right.
They get a good laugh, and then you end smashing. You can't lose. You tell good jokes and end smashing. It wins all the time.
Right.
All the work in this business is done before the show. If you have a good script, your play is going to go good.
Yeah, of course. So you sent him out. So he eventually did it, obviously, because you guys got into some type of debate or something later on.
Well, I asked.
You sent him out to go do your first 4 specials, correct?
Yeah.
And he went and did it eventually.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
After a while, he liked it. Well, here's what I did. I went to Tom Sobel, who owns the comedy club in Louisville, Kentucky, called the Comedy Caravan at that time.
Yeah.
And I told him, would he promote and make sure that the audience always knew
that it was Gallagher too?
Right.
Yeah,
and he did that for 4 to 5 years. But my brother's such an asshole that the girls in his office said they didn't want to work with Ron anymore. Could they please? And Tom had made some good money with him, and so they were done with him. And here's the problem.
But did you get any of the money when he?
No, I didn't need any of it.
Oh, you didn't need it.
No.
So why did you?
I needed a brother who didn't ask me for money, so I said, "Why don't you just go do a show and get your own money?"
Right.
How about that?
That's nice of you.
Well,
that was
kind
nice.
of.
What do you mean,
I
kind
did.
of?
No
That's
one
awesome.
ever shared their identity and their act with their brother. No one's ever done that. No one.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And it worked really good.
That's beautiful. That's a very sweet gesture.
To me, it was.
I think it is.
And it was to my audience, too.
Well, and the people listening that didn't know the true story that are listening to this right now,
well, imagine
I'm sure think that as well.
There's 100, I do 100 shows a year. So there's 50 states. I can only do 2 shows in each state in the large auditoriums. There's a lot of other cities that need fun, and so that's why I told him to do it. And then he met promoters who said the ticket price is giving it away that it's not your brother. If we charged 22 like your brother instead of 12, right, we'd make twice the money. And so that's what they started to do, and it confused my audience.
Right.
And I told my brother, you have to stop. But he pretended like it wasn't him. He pretended like, I can't control these promoters, he'd tell me on the phone, like I'm so stupid.
Right.
I would believe this. Because later on, I paid those promoters off. I gave them money to tell me the truth, and they worked for my brother. They didn't work for themselves. It was him all along, which I knew.
So once your brother was doing your act out there on the road, did he get excited and he felt like he was really you? And he was
people told
making
him
money
he was the fastest rising comic ever.
But did they think that he was funnier than you?
I don't think so, because he didn't write any jokes.
Right.
I thought that being on stage, he would just ad lib and grow, and I would have a compatriot in the business.
Yeah, because Chris,
and I could talk to him at night and say, what joke did you invent today? And we'd share jokes and everything.
So it's similar to, like, I guess,
the
I don't know,
Smothers Brothers. I wanted to be a great theatrical family. I wanted the talent to have, it be in the DNA. And I thought he was funny enough.
Yeah, your brother was. Does he look like you? I haven't really seen
enough, but every night.
Is he bald as well with the hair?
Yeah.
He looks kind of like
you. Can tell.
So it's the same mom and same dad.
Right.
But
I meet guys every night that look more like me than my brother because they do, and we take pictures. They're probably on Facebook. People could probably see them.
Right. So how did the dispute end?
Well, I had
because it said you went into a lawsuit with him about this?
Well, yeah, because my brother's not very smart, is he? I had a trademark of both my image and my name, and I had a trademark on both of them, so I sued him in trademark court.
Right.
And then this is
great.
You got a minute? We went to Detroit. We went to Detroit because
he showed up too.
He had to.
So both of these guys.
He couldn't wait. Yeah, my mom and dad couldn't wait to go and be in court with my brother.
Oh, they were on his side.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he's the baby.
Oh, he's the baby.
Right.
Right.
And I'm the big bad brother who won't let him. But of course, my mom and dad, I guess, are complicit in this chicanery and this fraud they're pulling on the American public, pretending.
So you guys go to Detroit?
Because the calendar was short there, and we would get a date. And so I'm there, and people came to my hotel and said, Gallagher, your brother cheated us. Let me tell you how. And this was a church group and a Boy Scout troop, because my brother and the producers would tell them, you're going to make money on the 6th show. And they would charge him $10,000, $2,000 a show, and then tell him, you're going to get $2,000 on the 6th show. Well, it would only sell like 4 shows worth. And then he'd say, you better pay us. Even before Ron arrived, they would want the money. And they would say, guys in black limousines are going to show up if you don't pay. And here they are strong-arming people like Boy Scout troops and churches who only want to have a fundraiser, and that's no way to make money. So they testified for me in front of my brother, telling the judge,
that this guy fucked me over, right? But here's my question: how did it end?
Well, they granted my injunction to stop him from performing.
Wow! And then what year was that?
It was 2000, because I shortly after that had a heart attack.
Wow!
And I remember that.
So did a lot of this this dispute between you and your sibling, did it cause a lot of stress to you, or you didn't really care during the time?
You know what?
Go back to that time. I mean, did you lose sleep over it? Were you sad? Did you have a nice relationship with him before? Because obviously now you probably don't talk. When was the last time you talked to him?
At the trial.
That was the last time you talked to him. So that was over 13 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So.
But I understand.
But you said wait. You said you had a heart attack. Right after the trial. Yeah. That was your first heart attack.
Yeah.
How many have you had?
4.
You've had 4 heart attacks.
Yeah.
So. Question. Stop. I just want to. Did this anguish and did this dispute cause the heart attack, or was it part of it? Did you not care? I mean, obviously
I didn't care. When you're a celebrity, so many people love you that it's strange when you go home and you meet these people that don't respect you at all. And you say, why am I even here? This is ridiculous. I can go anywhere else in the world and people want my picture. I want an autograph. I want to tell me how much I mean to them. And will you come to our house and spend the night? You look like you need a home cooked meal.
No, I understand that. But down deep inside, did it hurt you? Stop for a second. Stop. Yeah. Take a breath. Go back to that time where you sat at the time going, fuck, this is my family. And forget the business. Forget all that shit. Let's go back to before you were Gallagher, before you were famous. Go back to your childhood when you used to take care of them as an elder brother, watching Ronnie, in the pool or wherever you guys were. And now it turned into this. So how did you feel? Internally, were you saddened, and do you think it was part of the fact that you had a heart attack? I mean, this is important because there's a lot of people listening to this that might be having disputes with their family members, that might be having, you know what I mean? So,
but how did you feel? I don't believe that was stuck in my artery. What was in my artery was cholesterol. And the stress and dispute between. No, I'll tell you what was in my artery. It's a late night pizza every night on the road because that's all that's available at 11:30, 12 o'clock when you get back to the Hilton and you've had a great show and you've had a lot of fun. You order out and the paper is always the pizza parlor, and so you have cheese and lay down. That's probably the worst thing.
So your answer is that it didn't. It didn't fuck with you.
I think my career is killing me.
Yeah, the career and the traveling and all that shit.
Yeah. If you want to talk about stress, releasing cortisone that injures the endothelial cells, which are then repaired by the cholesterol. I made a study out. After I had a heart attack, I didn't eat for 2 weeks because I felt food had betrayed me and was a poison, and I wanted to know what to eat. And I couldn't figure it out. It's terrible when you think that food, your friend food, is stuck in your artery. Crackers. I love when I had a girlfriend one time. She said, I never met anybody that would spend $30 in a 7-Eleven. We're just getting potato chips and this and that and the other on the road.
So when the holidays come around, you don't have any, how do you feel? I mean, because you're not talking, do you talk to both your parents are passed?
I was able to get through Christmas.
Both your parents are passed.
No.
They're not?
No.
Holy shit.
I found the greatest thing occurred last night.
How awesome is that?
The guy.
How old are your parents?
I don't know.
Shut the fuck up,
My mom
dude.
was 21 when I was born. I'm 67. She's 88.
How do you know they're still alive? And you don't
because the guy who pays her was at the show last night.
Oh, my God.
And the guy who bought my dad's trailer park and has been paying on a $1 million 25-year note has 2 more years to go. And that's how I know she's still alive, because he's still sending her a check.
Wow. So you don't talk to any of your family members?
I talked to my really smart brother.
The big-headed one with the roller skating.
Head.
The big head. He's cool.
Yeah.
What about your sister?
No, I'm not talking to her.
You don't talk. And what happened there? Did she side with your brother Ronnie? Is that what it was?
Ego, jealousy.
Yeah. Isn't it weird?
And my sister used to write my checks. She was my secretary.
Yeah.
And when it gets down to money, you find out what people are really like.
Wow.
And I felt like she really didn't care for me. It was about the money. And I didn't want that around me.
And when was the last time you talked to her? 10 years ago?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
Wow. So Ronnie
And she's got 3 kids.
What's your sister? Shit.
I got 3.
Fuck, niece and nephews.
Yeah.
So what's in the picture that you showed me before? That's your daughter? You have a fucking daughter?
My granddaughter.
Your granddaughter.
Right. I bought
Wait, how many kids do you have?
I only have 2.
So you have 2 kids?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Uh-huh.
So you were married?
I was married 2 times.
Jesus.
But really the 2 other relationships were pretty strong. Also, I was with one woman 16 years I didn't marry.
So your sister, what's her name?
Connie
and
Ronnie and Jerry and Butch. That was my name.
So your real name's Butch?
No, my name's Leo, like my
Leo.
dad. Now, I don't want to be a junior, and I don't like the name Leo.
Yeah.
And so he called me Butch.
Okay, this is the last stuff about your family, just real quick. So, Ronnie, Connie, and your mom and dad's names are?
Garnet
and Leo.
Yeah.
So if they're listening to this,
well, Leo's dead. My dad.
I thought you said both your parents are alive.
No, I said. And you said both of them are dead, and I said no.
Oh, your mom.
My mom is alive.
Okay.
My dad,
so if they're listening,
my dad had
to
a hard problem in the courtroom.
So if they're listening to this, and how do you feel during the holidays when you know that they're still alive and you don't reach out to them?
I feel wonderful. I was just able to get through Christmas without ever saying Merry Christmas to anyone.
How do you feel about that for real?
I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're Scrooge or Grinch or any of those people?
I feel that the holidays are a competitor to me. I am a good time, and here comes Christmas and New Year's and Easter and all, and having in July having. So and they compete with me all the time.
Yeah,
and
but what about all
tickets.
But what about all the other people that enjoy Christmas and the holidays, that open their hearts and they're like, oh, here's a present and here's Santa and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just can't get involved.
So you're just not into it.
I guess I am a Scrooge.
So let's talk about the ever famous watermelon situation.
Yeah.
So, because I remember
to your mom.
Really?
Yeah.
How? Because I remember
she booked me in Westwood. I don't like the Comedy Store. It doesn't feel right. It's too harsh and tough for me. You wouldn't, if you develop an act there. I don't feel like it works in the Midwest. But she said I could work over in Westwood, and I liked the college crowd better. And so it was New Year's Eve. And I was going to be working over there, and so I knew there'd be a lot of traffic, so I went there early. And so I used to say I may or may not have a watermelon. That depends upon the reaction to the rest of my show.
Yeah, but who came up with the idea? I mean, you were obviously at a supermarket.
I used it. No, there was a supermarket 2-3 stores down.
Well, I was the short order cook there. Do you remember that? The short order cook in Westwood.
Well, there was and you had to go down there.
I had to go get the block of cheddar
I went down
cheese.
there one time and got a watermelon.
Right.
Just for New Year's. It was only for New Year's.
Yeah, but what made you think of the watermelon?
I didn't have it because I had it in my act that I threatened to have a watermelon, but I never did.
So it
was
always
a joke.
Said to what? So pretend I'm the audience.
I would
and this
say.
is before you did the watermelon.
I would say,
hey guys.
I would smack a few things.
What things?
An apple, an orange, some grapes.
Okay, so that's what you did first.
Right.
So when did you decide to start smashing fruit? An apple, orange, and a grape. Yeah, but you came up with it. Obviously, you said to me before you go on stage, you always have to have a script or an act or something. It's not like you just...
Oh, I had the routine for many years.
Okay, well, when did you come up with smashing fruit?
Oh, way before I met Jim Stafford. When I was 25.
So 25, you sat in a diner one day and go, I'm going to smash fruit on stage.
No, I was sitting in front of the TV because my car had broken down at a friend's house after I had tried to sell my book, which I printed myself on newsprint and sold throughout.
When you were 20 years old?
I was 25.
Okay.
I wrote a book. And I printed it myself and sold it at car races and rock concerts throughout the nation. And it wore the wheels off my car, and it finally broke. And so I'm laying there in front of the TV and a Vegematic commercial comes on, and I'm a little bitter about life and I'm tired. And I say, why don't you just hit it with a hammer?
Okay.
What difference does it make what shape it's in if you're going to chew it? And I said, that's a great idea.
So the people that are listening that don't know what the fuck Vegematic is, can you explain to people what that is? The commercial Vegematic?
You know, comedians talk
this
about...
was in the 70s, right?
Well, I was 25 and born in 46, so it's 71.
Yeah, so the Vegematic commercial would come on?
And comedians...
What isn't a Vegematic?
It's just a blade for cutting vegetables inside a hopper, a little chopper hopper.
Okay.
And so, you know how comedians make fun of the latest thing? Well, at that time, we hadn't seen any commercials like that.
So it was a chopping up.
It was the first
yeah, because now they have
infomercial.
like the bullet, or they have different blenders
they have
and stuff like that.
infomercials.
And they had like, they smashed the fruit in there. So you saw...
But the great thing was that veg rhymed with sledge. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't have made hundreds of millions of dollars.
So, that being said, so you saw the Vegematic commercial... And you saw them chopping up the thing, and you said to yourself, why don't you just smash it, you fucking idiot?
So I wrote the routine
Right.
and sent it to George Carlin and Albert Brooks.
Okay.
From that little house. I gave it away.
Wow.
Because I wanted to be a writer, and I thought it'd be great if I was their writer.
Right.
That's all I thought of.
So you wrote a bit, and what was the bit? You said, hey, guys.
In the modern kitchen, there is a standard rule that for every kitchen task, you must have the proper tool.
Right.
You got your cores, your borers, your graters, your shredders, your hashers, your mashers, your hammers and frammers, your mealers and peelers, corkscrewers and skewers, and knives you wives and dishwashing daughters will find in the depths of the dirty dishwater. But you want all that shit in your drawers? No! Well, the amazing Master Tool Corporation, a subsidiary of Fly-By-Night Industries, has entrusted who? Me, to show you the handiest and the dandiest kitchen tool you've ever seen. And don't you want to know how it works? Yes, then you yell yes.
Yeah, of course.
And then I would go on and do the routine. It had some funny lines in it. Teaches the dumbest dog to play dead, puts a cat out all night, keeps the neighbor's kids in their own yard.
Yeah, but let's just... So you sent the stuff to these guys, and they obviously didn't hit you back.
George wrote me back.
George Carlin wrote you back.
A nobody. I'm a nobody.
Yeah, and
he
wrote you
back
and said, not happening.
He says, I write all my own material.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George gave Sledge-O-Matic away. Isn't that something?
All right. That's all right. So then from there, you said to yourself, so the first time you started smashing fruit was, what year was that?
5 years later, after I helped Jim Stafford become a star.
Okay, so then you started doing it, and then you started smashing your fruit.
Then I went over to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And I met Mitzi, even though I had known her 5 years earlier, when they first started.
Right.
And then I came there.
Right.
To start my act and
so
not
you did
Jim's.
You did it in Westwood, at the Westwood
Comedy
Store.
and down in San Diego. I loved it down there.
Club.
She left me down there for long times. I lived in that condo down there and met the different comics.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the watermelon was the first time you went to the supermarket. That was right next door to the Comedy Store in Westwood.
Yeah.
And then you got a big watermelon. You said, fuck it.
I got one that would fit in my suitcase. Because I have to walk up to the stage. I didn't get to set the stage. But I was amazed that a watermelon would fit in my suitcase.
Yeah. So you walked up there, and then you started smashing it, right?
No, it was New Year's Eve.
Oh, it was New Year's Eve. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
I think I was
we were
there.
all drinking.
And I think Dave Tyree was there.
And it has a concrete floor, and I know Ollie, and Ollie's going to be the one to clean it up anyway.
Ollie Joe Prater?
Rita probably ate it off the floor.
Right.
He slept in a van right outside the door. I could have probably hit Ollie's van with this watermelon. Right. But anyway, we're all drinking, and it was the thing to do, and I smashed it, okay? Right. So then your mom calls me the next day.
She was pissed.
No.
She was happy.
Well, I didn't know. She goes, Gallagher. What, Mitzi? Are you going to smash a watermelon tonight? I said, no, Mitzi, that was only the special night of New Year's Eve. And she said, well, you better. We're sold out.
Oh, wow.
And so she was the one that first told me that it worked, that it's a draw, that people liked it, that it was going to happen. I had a career I got from your mom telling me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You should come visit her sometime. She would get a kick out of you. She's, you have my number. So
I know, but
if you're
old
ever
people... I went out with my agent, and he is so old. At one point in the dinner, he looked at me and he says, how do I know you?
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Right.
It was Irvin Arthur.
Wow.
He used to book all the Playboy clubs. You would have loved that era.
Yeah.
You missed that.
Yeah.
All them bunnies and the comics in there.
So you said earlier all the money that you made and stuff, because I remember, again, I grew up around you guys since I was pretty little and stuff, and you had so many Showtime specials.
Yeah.
How many Showtime specials? Like 15?
Yeah.
You had 15.
14.
And you had a pretty serious run.
I did.
Yeah. And so you were playing big theaters.
Yeah, the biggest.
The biggest theaters.
Yeah.
And then didn't you open for Kenny Rogers?
Yeah.
Who else did you open for?
Just him.
And did you smash watermelons when you're opening for Kenny Rogers as well?
Yeah.
And he was cool with it?
Well, he wasn't there. He wouldn't show up until I was done.
Right.
He showed up at intermission.
And how many years did you tour with Kenny Rogers?
1.
Just 1 year?
A
full year?
100 shows.
Wow.
The largest auditoriums in
I'm
America.
Sure.
And I got the job straight from the comedy clubs. So I didn't work comedy clubs all around the country. I just worked your mom's 2 clubs.
Wow.
And then I got this huge job,
right.
5,000 a night, 100 nights,
wow.
$500,000.
So how much money did you? What was like? Because for me, like I think so far in my career, it was 1990 to like 97 is probably when I made the most money. That was MTV and the films and all that stuff. For you, what was like the decade?
All the 80s.
So the 80s. So how much did you make? Around?
Well, I promoted my own.
Yeah, but per year.
About $3 million.
About $3 million a year.
I would.
So 3 times 10 is what?
30.
So you made like about $30 million in the 80s.
In the 80s.
Really? And where's all that money now?
Well,
did you spend a lot, or were you frugal with your money? When you say, for instance, you made $3 million.
But Ned, that's gross. That's a 2,000 or 3,000 seater at $20 is a $50,000 or $60,000 gross. Now I got to pay all the advertising.
You got to pay half.
I promoted all my shows.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kept 25,000, about 50%.
Yeah.
About 50%.
Yeah.
Right. So if it was $3 million, so just say you kept $1 million a year. I mean, about $1 million a year, right?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So that's $1 million a year. So that's 10 years. So that's $10 million.
Yeah.
So where's all that money?
Well, it's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
How much money do you have now?
I don't have any.
You have no money.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't have a house either.
No.
So you live pretty much. Do you have a storage? Do you have stuff in storage?
I have one small storage.
Where's that at?
In Agora.
Agora. How much is that? Is that like $200 a month?
Yeah.
$200 a month. Yeah, I have a storage. I have a storage unit too. So you live, but basically wherever you're performing at.
Yeah.
So your Laugh Factory stunt is up, from what I understand, on Monday.
Yeah.
And you've been here for 6 months.
Yeah.
So now where are you going? Do you have
I'm going to interview men dancers for a new show that I'm planning called The Next Step, where men dance with each other.
And it's not a gay thing. It's just like heterosexual guys dancing.
Any 2 humans that want to dance can dance.
But it has
so it could be
guys.
girls too. It's the next step in our society.
So it's 2 girls and 2 guys.
Or 2 guys, any 2 weird combinations. So, now, if I don't write this new play and get everybody excited here in Vegas about homosexual dancing, then I'm going to go to England and smash that whole country.
Really?
Yeah.
So you're just going to be going from town to town?
No, I want to do big things. I almost died. Every day could be my last day. I want to do significant things.
Right.
Hey, can I do a rap? How much tape do you have here?
I mean,
can I do like a 5-minute rap?
You can do it for a minute or so, but yeah, go for it.
All right, I've written a rap for 4 of the 10 commandments so that the kids don't have to think of 10 things they can't do, just 4. And it's don't lie, steal, don't hurt each other, and honor your parents. You could pick one of them, and I'll do the rap that goes with that one.
Honor your parents.
Okay. Honor who's your daddy, who with mommy gave you life. They work so hard so you could have the right clothes and a bike. They're always there for you when you're looking for a fight. They save their money and make do so you can blow it all at night. Thou shalt not think what's in mom's purse is yours. Thou shalt not use your parents to mop the floors. Thou shalt not go in your room and slam the doors. They deserve a little more. And don't take mom's yogurt out the fridge to make more room for your cores. And don't try to get the last word in with them that taught you all of yours. You know, children ask, what should I do? I always say, make sure that you touch lives without hurting. Give to without taking, talk to without lying, lift hearts without breaking, never causing crying, never making aching. Like his love you'll be undying, a lamb he's not forsaking. Thou shalt not. Don't even think you got a shot. Thou shalt not. It ain't about not getting caught. Thou shalt not try to blame it on beer and pot. Just ride with the man that God begot. Then go where it's so hot. Thou shalt not.
So how do you feel underneath the comedic side of Gallagher? How do you feel inside when you're alone?
Well, I have a
By
lot
yourself.
of other ideas.
No, not ideas. I'm talking about as a human being.
Well, I don't know what that means.
Are you sad?
No.
You're never sad.
No.
Really?
No, because...
You never get depressed?
No, I'm
Never
the party.
So even when you're alone, sometimes you never get sad.
Well, here's the deal. One time I was hurt, and I decided not to have any long-term relationships with people, and then that wouldn't happen again.
So
they don't let me down. I just figure they're going to be feeble, that they're going to succumb to earthly vices and be weak.
Is
and
part
won't
of the
be as
reason
strong as me.
Is part of the reason why you don't do that is because you travel so much?
I love the travel. I feel that I belong to America, that there is no one place that I belong, and that I know America better than any of the presidents or politicians because I tell them intimate things, and we laugh and talk in bars drinking.
So when you go home by yourself, and don't answer this right away, think about it. When you go home by yourself after a show, let's say here at the Laugh Factory or another show, or you shut the door, you wash your face, you put on your your boxers or whatever it is, your t-shirt, you brush your teeth, you're lying in bed, you take a big breath, you're kind of coming down from the day. Like what for that 1, 2, 3 minutes right there? What are your thoughts? Do you feel right there? Kind of that little part right before you pass out. What do you feel?
Well, if I've done a show, I'm in a great mood because it's a lot of fun to do a show.
Yeah, but what do you feel about yourself? Not about your show. Just about you. Your real name is what again?
Leo.
What do you feel about Leo? Leo, not Gallagher, not the
well,
guy.
I've never identified with that.
Well, that's who you really are. What's inside? What's in your heart? You're alone. You've had 4 heart attacks. You're you don't have a
most people know this?
I'm not saying it's good or bad or anything, but you don't have any money right now. You're living, paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's bad or good or.
Yeah.
I mean, you seem very happy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Money's
just saying,
a job.
It doesn't.
Every time you have money, you got to have somebody watch it.
But my point is that kind of that time. What does Leo feel? Not Gallagher. What does Leo feel at that time after you've done your thing and you've done your show and forget the show, just you. What do you feel before you pass out at night? now at 67?
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to wake up.
So you feel that?
Yeah. Well, I don't make any long-term plans
because of the heart attacks.
Yeah.
Really? Interesting.
Well, I can't have a relationship with a woman.
So how does that make you feel?
Well, that's terrible because I love women. I look at them all day long, and I talk about them on stage. And but I can't offer them anything because I could only sadness. I can only, say I might not wake up. Who wants to? I mean, you can't even really have sex with somebody that might die during the sex. I mean, that's terrible. You have to think about this now. I think, what if I died here? Because I was in the back room, talking to this cocktail waitress, and that's the last I remember before they told me I had been in a coma for 3 days. So at any time you could drop out. So I have to watch what I'm doing because I really don't want people to hear that Gallagher was...
So what you're saying is that 2-3 minutes...
I'm done.
As Leo,
done with life.
That you feel like, shit, this is a wrap. This is a wrap.
This is a wrap.
Really? So you're sad.
It could be. It could be a wrap.
But
if you liked life, I'm really done with it.
Right. So you feel like you had a good run.
I've died 4 times. So, I'm already used to... I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of the work. I'm tired of the anxiety. I'm tired. I did it. Yeah. Even if you die, I don't really want a long, boring life, and I'd rather be a comet that burned out quick, but it was a great fire, and I did it. I mean, if people live to be 70, I got 67 of them done.
But do you want? Yeah, but do you want to live another 20 years?
No,
you don't.
No,
you don't want.
I don't want to be that old guy bent over. I don't. In fact, I'm done.
So you're at peace. So you're at peace at that time, or are you a little freaked out?
Living.
You're done living.
Yeah.
Wow.
I really don't want to be much older than I am right now, and so I'm desperate to get people to listen to my ideas, which I think will make the world a better place. But they won't.
And if they don't listen to your ideas,
then the world's not a better place. And I died, and they were fucking idiots.
All right. Well, thank you for speaking with us. I love you, and thank you for the originality and the I don't know, the intellect that you've given myself and you've given to America, because the people that do know who you are, that see beyond the watermelon, beyond the thing, like just me watching the other night, that was the guy that I grew up with as a kid. You're still the same guy, and you're still you're really smart, you know what I mean? And you connect. It's not, to me, watching comedy my whole life, like, it was never about the joke. It was always about the angle and always about what you were saying. And to me, what you've said has meant a lot to me and has meant a lot to a lot of the guys that grew up with you. So thank you for your gift.
I'm a sharing guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye.